Today we have my annual triple base episode to crown my favorite Elijah Craig Barrel Proof of 2024. Now overall, some might say it was a down year for ECBP, but honestly, depending on your palate, when you put these against some other releases this year that were harder to get and a higher price, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is still an incredible bourbon for the value. Either way, I get to drink all three 2024 releases to see which one is crowned as my personal favorite. Let's get them poured. It's the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C, and welcome back to the Mash and Drum. Like, subscribe, and help me keep climbing to that 100,000 subscriber milestone for 2024. Appreciate the support as always. And as always, if you have any suggestions for some upcoming head-to-head triple base, double base, quadruple base matchups, please leave them below in the comments. YouTube loves the algorithm. Thanks, guys. All right, so let's dive in. Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs this year kicked off with A124, the age coming in at 10 years, 9 months, with a proof of 119. Now, the B524 followed that one up with an age of 11 years, 2 months, and a proof of 130.6. Lastly, we just had the C924 come out. It's 11 years, 0 months, with a proof of 129. Now, the mash bill for all three are 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. All right, so I have all three mixed in here. I'm just looking at the camera, just gonna mix these up. All right, so this is your first time watching a triple base episode. Basically what I do is I nose them, taste them, and also rate the finish. Each category gets 1 point, and the glass with the most points at the end wins. All right, last couple of mix-ups here, and all right, I'm gonna start with my first glass here on my left. Here we go. Classic Elijah Craig Barrel Proof here. Nutty, a lot of brown sugar, good amount of sweet. You got the oak there too. This one's also dialing up some good baking spice, a little bit of allspice in there. All right, good on the nose on number one. Let's go number two here. Number two, not as sweet. This one's a little bit more oak driven and a little bit more spice driven. Definitely not as sweet as the first one on the nose. I'm actually picking up a good amount of rye spice on number two, which is interesting. Still a good amount of oak here, but it's just not as sweet as the first one to me. But a little bit darker. I kind of like the darker notes on number two. All right, let's go to three. Yeah, the nose is nice. There's some sweet there, but again, it's just more oak and a little bit more of that peanut funk that you get sometimes on. It's a different peanut funk than Beam, but you know, you sometimes get it in Heaven Hill. Just depends on what you're sipping from Heaven Hill. But yeah, again, not as sweet. So let's go back to the first glass here. I gotta say, out of all the three noses, there's nothing really here that's jumping out of the glass that's making me be like, oh my God, it's that one. And that's what's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or it's kind of disappointing. It's between 1 and 2, I think. I think I like the nose on 2 the most. It's got a little bit of sweetness, but I like that spice that it's giving me. So I'm gonna give the nose to glass number 2. All right, let's go to the palate. Here we go. Glass number 1 first. Again, very good. Classic ECBP. Great brown sugar flavors. Very spicy, long finish. Decently textured. Not a big, you know, not a lot of texture here, but enough to kind of keep things interesting. Yeah, it's good. It's got a good amount of sweet, just like the nose, good balance. I like one a lot on the palate. It's a classic ECBP profile. Nothing is standing out too much. However, the oak, the sweet, the spice, the balance, the first glass has it. All right, let's go to number 2 here. Now, number 2, I gave the nose. Let's see how it does on the palate. I'm gonna need another sip of that. Coming off the first one, the second one came off a little bit funky. Yeah, I was actually hoping, so the palate is not matching the nose for me on 2. 2 is, it's spicy. A lot of rye, a lot of black pepper, allspice, cinnamon, but hot cinnamon, not sweet cinnamon. This is like cinnamon red hots. A little bit of oak, not a ton of sweet here. It's good. I mean, I like the spicier profiles from Elijah Craig Barrel Proof sometimes, as long as it has a little bit more of the balance. I feel like I'm getting more balance in the first glass. Let's go to the third glass here. Wow, the third glass really isn't doing too much for me at all. Man, it's just kind of blowing my mind, like how, I don't know, I'm just like, I was hoping one of these would really jump out of the glass, especially having them all head to head, but you know, none of them are really jumping out to me. There's a couple of aspects of each one that I like, but I gotta say this last one I'm having isn't really doing it for me on the palate either. Yeah, there's not much going on that last one. Compared to the other two, it's flat, a little bit drying, and there's like those big, bold Elijah Craig Barrel Proof flavors that I love. I'm not really getting it in the last one at all. All right, so it's really gonna come down to 1 and 2 here for palate, and I think I already know where I'm leaning. Yeah, I like the first one a lot. It's got really great balance, nice long finish. It's sweet, it's spicy. It's still not the greatest ECBP I've had, but out of the other two, I think it's gonna be my favorite. Second one I liked on the nose, but on the palate, yeah, again, oak spice, but again, like I just feel like I want a little bit of sweet to balance it out, and I feel like the first glass is giving that to me. So nose went to the second glass, but I'm giving the palate to the first glass. So it comes down to finish. I'm not really getting much of a finish at all on the last one here. So I think the last one is just gonna be out. That one is last place no matter what. It's really gonna come down to the first 2 glasses here. So the more I sip that first one, it's getting a little sweeter. I like this, yeah, the finish on it is nice. So when it comes to finish, man, does the second one have what it takes? No, the second one just comes off a little bit funky. It's a little bit more earthy too. I think finish goes to the first glass. So first glass for the win. So we have nose for second glass, palate, and finish for the first glass. First glass for me. Whatever this is gonna be my favorite Elijah Craig for 2024. So let's go to the last glass and see which this one was, because compared to the other two, it really fell flat. So the last one happens to be, you know what, I'm not surprised, because I wasn't a big fan of it. If you watch my review, it is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924. C924, to me, it's flat, it's peanutty. I got that a little bit on the palate. It kind of clued me in that that's what it could be, and the finish just falls flat for me. Now, I don't know if it's my particular bottle, but this one did not do it for me at all. I just thought it was very mediocre. Nothing really standing out for C924. All right, so now it comes down to letters A and B. Let's see what we got here. My favorite Elijah Craig Barrel Proof for 2024 goes to B524, with A124 coming in second place just because of the nose. Really, because of I really like the nose on the A. I like that spice. I like that mix that that A had. I like the different types of rye components, spice components, oak components I was getting on A. But B on the palate just has more going on than both of these. It's got that perfect balance that I look for. It's got the sweet, it's got the spice. Is it the best Elijah Craig Barrel Proof I've had? No. I don't know, this year's tough, being that I like 1 out of the 3 this year. I don't know, it gives me a little pause, and I'm really hoping for a stronger comeback in 2025 for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. But winner today for this triple base, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B524. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this triple base episode with all the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button, and if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram. Let me know down in the comments if you were surprised by the results, if you would pick A over B. Have you tried C yet? Always curious to know what you hear. And remember, don't forget to put any of your suggestions also down in the comments. So with that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. It's time to blend. All right, let's see if the blend is better than them on their own. Ooh, the blend's kind of nice. When you combine the 3, I feel like since all three of them to me are just missing a little bit of something, I feel like it's all kind of coming together here. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. You know what? That gave me some good hope, but the finish on it is just weird. Maybe there's a chance I could play with the proportions and see if it gets better. I don't know. See you guys next time. I don't like it.